With over 750,000 followers, Sarah Blondin is the most popular teacher on the world's biggest meditation app, Insight Timer. And the question is, what has led to her breakthrough success? Is it the words that she uses? Is it her pacing, her music? Or is it something that is beyond comprehension? Today, we are going to be breaking down one of Sarah's more recent guided meditations to see if there's anything that we can learn about what makes her such an amazing teacher. And before we get into it, my name is Lou Redmond, and I am another teacher on Insight Timer with a meager 55,000 followers. I've had over 2 million plays on my tracks, and part of my work now is helping teachers like you learn how to develop their own art and craft in creating better guided meditations, as well as learning how do you make a living bringing your gifts into the world. So without further ado, enjoy this breakdown of Sarah Blondin's meditation. The meditation that we're going to be listening to is Find Your Immovable Center. It's one of Sarah's more recent meditations, and I chose one of her recent meditations because I'm just curious to see what has changed from her more popular meditations in 2016. I used to listen to them back in that time period, so I have a sense of what that was like, and so I'm just curious to see what has evolved in this time. This one has a 4.9 rating, 38,000 plays. You'll be hard-pressed to find a Sarah Blondin anything with less than a 4.8 rating. That goes to show why she's had such success. So let's get into it and see what this practice is about.
We stand on the edge of dying and becoming, life and death, each breath a crossing between worlds.
Right when I listen to this, I'm a bit surprised. I don't know if you can hear it, but there is background noise. And Sarah always had some background noise going. It was never the most polished or edited tracks. And she was always an example that I would use to tell people when they say, oh my gosh, I need to make sure I have the best editing. And I'm like, no, you don't. Go listen to a Sarah Blondin track. You'll hear that there's some background noise, but because of the energy that Sarah's putting through, because of her words, because of what it's evoking, no one cares. They let that go because it's that good. It's that powerful of an experience for people. And maybe that's Sarah's thing. Maybe this is supposed to be some sort of like white noise thing, possibly. But I'm a bit surprised that after so many years, there isn't just the clean, clear background noise coming out. So let's just starting as a surprise. But obviously, again, 4.9 rating. No one's caring that much because Sarah is that good.
Everything changes. Everything trembles. Hearts break, heal, and break again. Fear rises and falls in a continuous rhythm. Yet there is a flame within us that no storm can extinguish. Hafez called it the breath within the breath. One single sound filled.
Okay, so I did hear some editing of a breath there. I think I picked that up right. So there's definitely some editing happening. So maybe the background, maybe that's just part of the track. What do I know? One thing I need to note, I was curious to see if this has changed. So her breakout tracks, that ones that have millions of plays on Insight Timer, they were part of a kind of poetry or writing that she did around, that she called Live Awake. And they were very written, crafted prose with powerful messages that with some music just really resonated with so many people. And I was curious to see, has that changed? And it sounds like no. Sounds like you can tell that this is not like a typical meditation in the sense of, hey, welcome, here's the meditation that we're going to do today. She breaks all the rules, which maybe is why that she is the anomaly success that she is. It's just getting into this poetic prose, this beauty that she's able to embody through writing. And I think the lesson, if I want to just glean, is people have different views on this. I'm a big believer in writing out meditation scripts because, like you're writing a book, you get to craft the message. It'd be such a different experience if I said, hey, go listen, go record your audiobook. Don't write anything, just hit record and just speak to me about bettering our life. Speak to me about gratitude and just go off the cuff. Just like I'm going off the cuff now, I'm probably saying way too many words than I need to. And I'm probably not making it as potent as it could be. Yes, you could say, "Oh, I'm in the flow and I'm channeling it," whatever that might be your experience. But what Sarah's an example of, and what I practice, is the craft, writing out every word of your meditation, just as if you would write out your book that you would record on Audible. So, sorry to get on a high horse there. I get excited. All right, let's continue.
Fills this room. Are you able to hear it now?
And so there's this, the Hafez quote, sorry to jump right back in it. But I just think anytime, leading with a little quote in a meditation is always nice. It's always like nice to frame, not that where you have to use someone else's words, but it's something that you can then come back to. Like as Hafez says, I'm going to be curious if she comes back to this quote throughout this practice.
There is one true sound within you. All else shakes, but this sound remains steady. Every moment carries its own consequences, but the breath remains the same. This place cannot be denied to you by any external force. What is most precious and true is yours, now and now and now. Somewhere in you knows what lies beyond the chaos, even in moments of profound uncertainty. Somewhere in you knows what lies beyond.
So Sarah's someone who doesn't really explicitly say things. She's not directing. That's why, I think I listened to an interview with her with David Gandelman in 2017 that she did. And she even resisted, I think, calling herself a meditation teacher because she's really not instructing. She's a writer. And I think that's her gift. And she was able to take her writing into Insight Timer to find this unique meeting point of stillness and poetry and beauty and prose and adding the emotional, evocative music behind with just the nature of her voice, again, is what makes her stand out so strongly, is what makes her, it's going to be interesting to see, besides, what we can continue to find, how do we think about implementing this? And I guess I have attempted to implement some Sarah stuff in different meditations before. I even noted it, adding like the emotional music behind the background. It really does resonate. So instead of picking the typical, maybe this is a lesson too, as I'm just speaking this, instead of picking typical meditation like spa music, think about what would it be like to pick a more cinematic, really kind of evoking music as your background, and see how that changes the flavor and the tone of your meditation.
Love trembles in our bodies, and when we look deeper into those trembling with love eyes, we realize we have known this all along. Regardless of the cost, we are here with love. When we find that one truth, we can hold in the center whatever life has brought us or will bring us. With and by this one sound, we are bound beyond differences, beyond all appearances. This cannot be changed. In spite of everything, this remains. Gentle now, gentle. As we approach our distrust, our tears, our trembling, as we feel the almost unbearable tenderness of being alive, place what is most true at your center. Close your eyes and let the door open.
She says so many
Remember who you are.
She says so many beautiful things that it's even hard to like. I mentioned this in another feedback, but just naming the things that people might be going through, right? The distrust that you're feeling, or the uncertainty that you're feeling, and like the tenderness in which she is saying that. And it seems like what's coming through is the immovable center as the breath. She's kind of making that a core pillar in a very Sarah Blondin poetic way, again, without naming it, without saying, okay, find your breath. This is a breath that you can always come back to. What I'm picking up is like she's taking us there in her own way, and then saying that, and saying these kind of universal connecting forces of, right, this is the one thing that we all share, right? That this is almost like never going away, this simplicity, right? But again, she's not really naming it, but you experience it as she's going through.
And what you stand for. Focus all your energy on this breath within the breath, this universal sound. And stay here, gently inside life's raw tenderness, offering yourself wholly to this love.
Just the breath within the breath, right? Just like trying to connect with that experience is there's like a depth that language is just really powerful.
Feel how this love reverberates through your being. It's the same.
So really making the music go with the intention. Feel this love reverberating through your being, and then that music is kind of ramping up a little bit, right, to give more of an experience during it.
Breath you see in a dying person's eyes, and in a newborn's first gaze. With both those dying and those being born, we cup our hands around this flame of truth, and we ask that we never forget this miracle. We intuitively, instinctively guard it with our whole body. We whisper aloud what is true. We use our entire being as a shield for this flickering light. Remember, beloved one, what you knew in your birth and what you will know in your death must be embodied and protected now. It is your birthright. There is a breath inside your breath. As you journey into your own darkness to find.
So again, just beautiful depth of experience, of imagery, of connecting with newborns, with dying, with the cycle of life, and what doesn't die. I think that's what I'm picking up too. Like, what doesn't die, the breath within the breath, or the spirit, right? The spirit that's within the breath that came into this life when we were born and will go out of this life when we go. And yeah, Sarah's poignancy, right, is probably her greatest gift that she has to offer, right? The ability for us to access the bitter sweetness of human life, in order that we may more live fully. And so, yeah, it's really hard to teach this. It's really hard to, there's no technique here, right? There's just a depth of transmission and creativity, and the spirit moving through Sarah in a way that inspires, right? That brings the spirit into the people, to every one of us that listens to her. And that, at the essence, it's one of the things I love most about Sarah's story, is just that following spirit and seeing what happens when you put your full trust in that path, and what opens up, and as you give that to other people, right, and the ripple effect goes on and on. So yeah, beautiful.
Find what has always belonged to you. You piece by piece allow yourself to receive this gift. Your body, this moment, this one true sound. The time has come for us to claim it. Follow whatever shakes at your gate, be it love or fear, and meet its eyes. Look within it for the breath, and plant your flag in the earth.
Follow whatever shakes at your feet, like whether it's love or fear, meet it with your breath. Right? Just, again, beautifully poetic as a way to say, yeah, whatever you are facing, here's your breath. Right? Come back to your breath, meet it with your breath. Out of the probably thousands of meditations on Insight Timer that are about finding your breath, I've never heard one like this. I've never heard it called your immovable center. I've never heard someone speak about just coming back to your breath with such depth, with such a beauty.
Where you choose to stand, inhale deeply into your belly. Find the warmth of your own fire.
I think we're 6.5 minutes in to this meditation, and it's the first time that Sarah has actually given an instruction, which is crazy.
And let this flame flicker deep in your body. This gift is yours to help you and me navigate through the wild winds and harsh weather. There is a small flickering flame. With one heart, the light is on. We cannot know how anything will unfold, dear one, but we can promise ourselves this: we will not abandon our flame. Inside this light, we hold our whole being.
So something that I'm picking up too that I think is interesting to just test out in your own practices is the language between you and we. And I go back and forth. I think there is something powerful. I think make a conscious decision is what I should say. Because what she's speaking to us, saying, dear one, but then speaking with us. Right, that we are having these experiences. This is what we do. We are living. And that tends to be where I lean towards. And it positions us more as like, hey, we're on this path with you. Right? I'm experiencing this too. And it's less of the hierarchy of like, you should do this, or you experience this. Sometimes you're going to have to do that a lot. Actually, in meditations, you're going to use you, but also think about if it is something that you're sharing an experience, how you can bring more we language, especially into your writing. I mean, this is Sarah's writing, but when you're writing blogs or when you're, writing or doing a video where it's more conversational, there's something about the we, I think, that keeps, it's very true. It's not us thinking that we're very special and that we have, special knowledge and there's this hierarchy. So just something to be aware of.
Being. This is the promise we can make, the commitment we can keep. Our only assurance lies here. With each breath, we stay present with ourselves and with each other. This love will be protected at all costs. And so, beloved, whatever you find yourself facing in this moment, whatever death or rebirth.
See, it was the we and then goes to you. So I think being conscious of when you're changing that up, because there is something powerful of like, hey, whatever you're going through, whatever you like, remember this. Sending that message in a you is also very, very powerful.
Birth is knocking on your door. Stand back. Breath deep in your body. Find your immovable center. You can. And in many ways, you already are. Allow yourself to be carried by this river, even as you stand your ground. In times of greatest uncertainty, remember, you are the keeper of an eternal flame. All that trembles outside cannot touch what burns within. This love will be protected at all costs. One breath.
So she noted the flame in the beginning. So again, anytime there's something that's happening where we start with the beginning, then we come back to this flame, right? And then the breath within the breath. I actually had to just check. I'm like, what was the Hafez thing? Oh, she was repeating it the whole time. The Hafez quote was about, the breath within the breath. That was actually his thing that she was then working with the entire time. So I missed that as we were going through. But notice that the first time she even names the title, which she might not have titled it until after, to be honest. I sometimes will not find the final title until after I've recorded it. So that could be the case. But she talks about the immovable center, and so it's all coming through. It's in this very beautiful writing where she's setting up, okay, that there's what we're going to do to find the immovable center is find the breath within the breath, right? That keeps this flame going, right? The fire, and she kind of starts with that, gives that through with all this beautiful support and encouragement and lovingness that is Sarah Blondin.
One eternal flame.
And there's clearly like fire happening. So I'm tempted to say that my beginning comments on the noise in the background was probably intentional. Whatever was happening, maybe it was the flame and fire, and I heard it as background noise. Okay, there you have it. A meditation that breaks all the rules, that is not any category, that's just beauty, that's just beautiful writing, and then slowing it down a bit so that someone can naturally be in a meditative space. I think the fact that it's on Insight Timer and it's under as a meditation helps people be like, okay, I'm just going to close my eyes and just do it, because she's never telling me to do any of that, which I recommend doing, right? You're setting up the space for people, but Sarah Blondin doesn't have to do that. People have a sense, and so that's the benefit. Like if you listen to this just on a podcast, you might think that this is really sweet, but you might not know to close your eyes and meditate, because you might not be looking for it with that intention. It's not really saying it's a meditation, let's say, if it was on a different platform. But because it's on Insight Timer, it's under meditation, sometimes that's implied, and that's been what she's done on it. So kudos to you, Sarah. Keep doing what you're doing, keep writing, and maybe she's an inspiration, I hope, maybe for you to try something that's nothing that I've said or that you've learned, right? To try a track is just your writing, that you have something come through and you don't need to feel like, oh, is this a meditation? But maybe it is. Really, it is. There is some transmission, some beauty, some love, some support, some things that get kindled or rekindled for people just listening to your writing and your craft. So I'm curious to hear what you took away from this video, and leave in comments. And I'm sorry I didn't make it as practical, but I feel like I needed to give Sarah the feedback, and it's a beautiful example of when you do things like other people don't do it, you have the opportunity to achieve what she's achieved. And she wasn't trying to achieve it. It happened. So thanks so much for watching and listening to this. Thanks for watching. If you're looking for some inspiration on your guided meditations, check out my free course, Meditation Script Mastery. It is aimed to help you evoke your own creativity so that you can maybe do meditations in a unique way like a Sarah Blondin does, but it's your meditation. So people know that, oh, that's a your name meditation. This course is going to help you find that unique spark inside of you. It's not about doing it like me or like someone else. It's really about opening up your creative channel and having fun creating the meditations that only you can create. So go check out that course if you haven't yet. It's called Meditation Script Mastery. It's free in the description below. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being here, and chat soon.